or lease.
True Opinion Podcast.
Hey y'all, welcome to this episode of the True Opinion Podcast. I'm your host, Adontaus, and today, we are talking all about communication. That's kind of funny, we're talking about communication. We're communicating about communication. And this is very important, it's so vital. Communication is so vital to our lives. You know, think about on every movie that shows an alien invasion, we always try to establish communication first. You know, we try to see what they want, talk to them, learn what they know, share our knowledge. We try to communicate first. That is until we find out they are here to demolish our damn planet. But, you know, we did try to communicate first, right? And this topic is especially close to my heart because I'm a speech language pathologist by day. So my career is making sure that people are able to communicate effectively. So, you know, in this episode, I'm going to attempt to merge my professional knowledge with my street knowledge, my common sense, or just with what I think, to give you the best possible opinion on the subject possible. Positive communication is important in any kind of relationship. I believe, you know, most problems and misunderstandings, disagreements, they could all be stopped right in their tracks if the two parties could just talk to each other. So we got to establish some good communication rules, okay? So the first key to better communication is honesty. Hey, stop lying, okay? Just, first of all, I hate a liar. Just stop lying. If you getting ready to open your mouth and a lie is coming out, just cut it right there. Discussions, arguments, anything based in a lie will never get anywhere because guess what? Your lies always come back to you. So if you save yourself an argument right now, you're going to have one later. Or the person that you are giving a lie to, they're not stupid. They know you're lying. And it's trying to get to the root of the lie, trying to disprove what you're saying, trying to get around like this lie obstacle is going to derail you from what the real issue is. So be honest. You can't communicate if you're not being honest. You have to be honest about your feelings. If your feelings are hurt, say that. If you're mad, say that. Whatever feelings you have about the situation that is causing you to need to have this communication with this person, you need to be honest about it. And be honest about your intentions. So, if you go into a conversation with somebody and your intent is to solve the problem, let them know. You know, we are having a misunderstanding. I don't know what's going on. I really want to solve this problem. So you guys have a common goal. If your intention is not to solve that problem, don't say that shit. See, number one, don't lie. If your intention is you just want to win the fight, okay, like you tell them, I think you're wrong and I'm right, and let me tell you why I think so. Just be honest and true in all your communications. Don't lie. Be true about your feelings, true about your intentions. Next thing, everybody has heard this. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And that is abso-fucking-lutely true. 100%. Okay. For example, let's say you come into a room. Listen to the difference between this. Hey, what you doing? And what you doing? You know, you hear the difference? The second one would make me and most people instantly defensive because you come to somebody with an attitude. You said the same words, but just the tone that you said it in, the tone of voice, the inflection changes the meaning so much. That second, what you doing? That would make me think like, what the fuck you think I'm doing? What you doing? And now we in a fight. Because the way you said it makes the person think that, okay, you are asking me what I'm doing because clearly you think I'm doing something that I shouldn't be or something you don't agree with. It's not you're questioning me for information. You're questioning me trying to make me explain myself. And then, it brings up all sorts of feelings of I'm an adult, I ain't got to explain myself to you. I mean, you just put someone on the defensive sometimes with your tone, even if you don't intend it. I think some people truly are not aware of how they say things and how they come across. So that second inquiry into what you were doing may be normal for them. And then they probably wonder why they walk around getting into fucking fights with people all the damn time. That's because you talk crazy to motherfuckers all the time. You need to watch how you say things. Like if you're at work and your boss says, "Hey, Jenna, what time are you going to lunch? I need that report for August on my desk, like by 1 or so. You think you can get it done for me?" Nice, reasonable request. You're Jenna, you'll say, "Oh, sure. I'll get it right to you right before I go to lunch. Let me just print it up and leave it for you." As opposed to your boss coming to you saying, "Hey, what time you going to lunch? Are you about to leave now? Because I need that report on my desk like yesterday. That report for August that should have been in, I need it. It's September 1st. Basically you said the same thing, but the second way that you said it, your employee's going to be like, "I don't know who this bitch thinks she talking to. I'm entitled to lunch. I'm going to lunch. She'll get that motherfucking report when she get it." You know what I'm saying? It is definitely the way that you say things. You want to put people at ease with your communication. You want to create an environment that makes them want to talk back with you like they have some damn sense. You don't want to put people on the defensive because before you know it, y'all have descended into madness. A fight has started. You don't even know, really why. Even if you are angry or hurt, watch how you express that, or the ensuing argument may obscure the real issue because now you're arguing over, the way that you said something. Don't talk to me like that. Don't talk to me like I'm a kid. And nothing is getting done on the larger front. And also, with the example of, your boss talking to you a certain way. When you're in any kind of relationship, boss and subordinate, friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, you just want to make sure you are watching your words, watching what you say, watching how you say things, because you never, especially if you don't intend to, you never want to make someone feel less than by the way you're talking to them. Next thing you need to remember when you're getting ready to communicate, or I think now we're moving into the realm of if you're getting ready to have an argument or you're in an argument with somebody you care about, you want to remember this is not Roast Fest 2017, okay? Do not hit below the belt. This is somebody that you love or somebody that you care deeply for. You should not be trying to end them like Mortal Kombat fatality. You get into an argument with your man, don't call him a bitch ass motherfucker. Don't call her you nappy headed hoe. Name calling and, that's why I never liked your mama no way. And that's why your sister is a hoe. Don't do that. Don't hit below the belt. Don't call her a bad parent. Don't say that's why your kid's stupid. Don't say that's why everybody in your family ugly. Don't do those things. This is somebody you love. Like I said, you are not trying to make them feel bad. Y'all have a very specific beef with each other. Keep your communication directed towards that beef. Be respectful, even if you mad. Remember, person you love, hopefully somebody you want to stay in love with, hopefully somebody you want to keep some kind of relationship with if it's a friend or a family member. So you don't want to seek to lower their self-esteem. Don't want to try to damage their opinion of themselves or of you by using such foul language. It's just no room for that. I mean, really, like I said, you're not trying to make them feel like shit about themselves. Or maybe you are. What did I say? Be honest about your intentions. Maybe you feel hurt and you want to hurt them by saying some hurtful things. Resist the urge to do that. Because when the smoke clears, you're going to feel like shit. You're going to look like an asshole and you're going to feel like shit. So don't do that. Next, do not leave. You're having an argument, you get up and walk out the room. Or you shut down and you're not talking no more. Don't walk away. Don't shut down and stop talking. Simple. Just don't do it. That is a control tactic, and it's just a fucking shitty thing to do. If things are getting too intense for you, if y'all are yelling and screaming, maybe you're getting to a point where you want to start using derogatory language, you want to hit below the belt, maybe you need to say, you know what? I need a timeout. Things are getting kind of hot and heavy. We need to refocus on the issue. Can we do that? Just ask the person, can we do that? I'm getting really upset. It seems like you're getting really upset. I think we've lost focus. Sometimes it helps. I read something somewhere like if you're in an argument with somebody you love, sometimes it helps to touch them. Like a loving gesture, not like muff them, not shit like that. Like a light hand on the arm or on the small of their back or a hand on the thigh to kind of remind both of y'all that y'all care about each other. I mean, of course, make the gesture appropriate to y'all's relationship. But sometimes some sort of touch will help to diffuse a situation so that you can refocus, so that you don't get up and walk away or just shut down and stop talking. That is so fucking disrespectful. It is. And I've done it before in arguments, and my intention when I do it is to be I almost called myself the B word. I almost used the B word. It's to be a butthead. I use that word. When I shut down, when I stop talking or walk away or just ignore the fuck out of somebody, I'm being an asshole. And I know I am. Maybe things have gotten too intense. Maybe I just don't want to talk about it no more, so I'm just going to shut it down. But that is so unfair. It is a control tactic. That's right along with yelling and screaming your point, talking over somebody, and then being like, I don't want to talk about it no more, and leaving. Or if y'all are on the phone doing the same thing, yelling and screaming, not listening, and then being like, I don't want to talk about it no more, and then you're done. You're trying to control what's said. You're not letting the other person express themselves. And it's, that freeze out tactic, not at all conducive to communication. Communication is a two-way street. It takes two people. If you have shut down all efforts at resolving whatever issue y'all have, coming to some sort of resolution, even if it's not an argument, y'all can be planning an event and you just shut down. You don't agree with how the planning session is going, so you just stop talking like, I'm done. That's what you're saying. I'm done. You're not giving any input. You're not helping. You shut down the whole process for everybody. And it's, like I said, it's just a real shitty thing to do. So don't do that shit. Act like an adult. Ask for a timeout. That's funny. Act like an adult and do a kid thing and ask for a timeout. But for real, do something to calm yourself. If you feel like you're getting so upset, you're going to shut down. Do something to calm yourself. Take a breather, take a breath, take a moment for a loving touch, refocus the conversation, and then come back and try to resolve the issue. Next thing, if you can, fight face to face. And it may be, a lot of people like to get into it over text message, over social media. I already did an episode on that. Don't do that shit. That's dumb. Over email sometimes, over some electronic means. And the problem with that is that, one, you cannot infer tone from a text message, meaning you can't tell what a person means. You only read the words, even if they put little emojis behind them. Like, to me, that shit is that's a diversionary tactic. Putting emojis behind what you say, like writing something totally inflammatory and then putting LOL. Like, bitch, don't try it. I know you meant that shit and not with a LOL at the end. You know what I'm saying? You cannot truly tell how a person is coming at you over text message, which means you can interpret it completely wrong. Something that is completely innocent, you can go all the way left with it and y'all fighting. Something that is not innocent, that you should be fighting about, you think it's all good and you're missing the point that that person is even upset with you. So if you can, fight face to face. Because it's easy to talk cash shit over text messages because you don't have to hear that person's response. You don't have to see their face. You don't have to see the hurt or the pain that you're causing. So you just go on. And I know when I've had text message arguments, I don't read what the fuck the other person is saying. I text my paragraphs. I get out everything I want to say. And then when I'm done, I scroll back up and I read what they wrote. And then I go and I respond to what they said, maybe. And then, go off again on my paragraphs, not even really looking at what they're saying. That is no way to communicate. Y'all ain't communicating. It's really like one-sided. You really just like yelling over text message, if that makes sense. And that's no way to be. And also, if you are fighting over text message and you're saying some mean shit, like I said, it's easy to talk that shit when you're not in somebody's face, when you don't have to see the reaction of the pain that you're causing sometimes, when you don't have to deal with the consequence of it. So easy. You are making a record of hurtful shit. If you say some hurtful shit, you want that shit to go away. You don't want it in text message form so somebody could screenshot it. So 3 months later, they could send you the screenshot and say, remember when you said this shit to me, motherfucker? What about it now? You know what I'm saying? So if at all possible, if distance isn't an obstacle, if whatever else isn't an obstacle, fight face to face. Or at least pick up the phone and make a phone call and fight that way. But don't do it over text message. So I think that maybe this should have been said at the beginning. But all of this stuff kind of goes into setting some rules and some boundaries for fighting. Especially if you are in romantic relationships. Everybody disagrees. I've said this before. When you have two people with two different personalities, come from different backgrounds, they're not always going to agree on things. So you should try to set some rules for fighting. Like, tell the person, these are the boundaries. Don't cross these lines. Don't say certain shit. Like for me, one of my triggers, don't call me stupid. Don't imply that I'm stupid. Don't call me slow. Don't talk to me like I'm stupid. You know how people start to talk to you like, I said, they start talking to you real slow and shit. I fucking hate that. I'm not impaired. You don't have to talk to me that slow. I can handle normal flow of conversation. That shit pisses me off. Don't talk to me like I'm stupid. Don't call me stupid. And don't call me out my name. So, pretty much, you call me a dumb bitch, the house being burnt down. I hate that shit. So set some boundaries. Tell people what you don't like. Tell them what your triggers are. And not so that they can use it as ammo against you, but we all get into arguments where we lose our fucking heads. And, let them know what the boundaries are. So if they say that and you go crazy like a fucking alley cat on their ass, they won't be like, what the hell? I mean, we was arguing and next thing you trying to scratch my eyes out. So just let them know. And hopefully you'll never get to the point that they use those words anyway. Finally, I don't know. But remember, once you say something, you can't unsay it. If it's out your mouth, it's out there. So be so careful with what you say. Not just how you say it, but with what you say. I mean, it doesn't matter how nicely you try to say, I think you're a terrible parent. That's a really fucking horrible thing to say. And that's something that will stick with a person. So watch what the fuck you say. Because you can't, even if you say, oh, I'm so sorry. Even if you say, I take it back, you can't really take shit back. I mean, we not like in second grade. It ain't like, okay, I take it back and it never happened. Like you got a magic wand. No, once you say it, it's out there. And some people, they live with words. They collect those words, especially negative things that you say. They collect that shit in their brain. It becomes like a file, a Rolodex of all the negative shit. You don't want to be responsible for the buildup of negativity in somebody's mind. You don't want to be responsible for them feeling bad about themselves. You don't want to be responsible for somebody's incidents of depression or, you just don't. Most of the time, we are our own worst enemies. And you don't ever want to give anybody fuel to hurt their own mental self-image. But if it does happen, it's like I said, we all lose our shit sometime and say some fucked up shit to each other, especially to people you love, because you think because they love you, they'll just always forgive you. So a lot of times you're more likely to lose your shit on them. If it does happen, address it immediately. Don't let it linger. Don't let it lie. Don't just be like, oh, well, she know I ain't mean that. Or, oh, well, he know how I get when I'm going off the hand. No. Address it. Name it. I said this, and I am so ultra sorry. I said this, and that was a fucked up thing to say. I don't mean that. I was in my feelings. I was trying to hurt you. Listen, I don't know if it's going to work, but I know ignoring the shit like you never did it or you never said it, that shit ain't going to work either. So own up to it, address it, pray that they forgive you. And when it comes to communication, I just think the biggest thing to remember, especially when you are not impaired, you don't have some traumatic brain injury, you haven't had a stroke, you don't have any degenerative disease or anything that is affecting your mental capabilities, you just have to remember one, respect. Talk to anybody, everybody, with the kind of respect that you want. Remember, it's not what you say all the time, but it's how you say it. Think about the tone of voice that you use. Think about your body language. Think about what you are presenting to people when you talk to them. Are you creating an environment for them to want to have a positive communication with you? Or do you come like ready to motherfucking rumble? What is it? Figure it out. Communication makes the world go round. Try to do it in a positive way. I guarantee you'll have wonderful results. You'll probably be a lot happier, too, if you learn how to communicate effectively with the people that you love. Don't try to hurt them. The world is shit enough. There are enough people out there who really just want to hurt people's feelings and be as mean and nasty as possible. So don't let that be the reality in your relationship. Don't let it be the reality in your household. Okay? Listen to me. I'm a motherfucking professional. Listen to what the fuck I'm telling you. So, that's it. That's communication. You got it from the mouth of a speech language pathologist. Talk to each other like you got some goddamn sense. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at True Opinion Show. visit the website, trueopinionpodcast.com. And as always, please rate, subscribe, and what is it? Rate, subscribe, and review. Yes, rate, subscribe, review on iTunes. All right, y'all. Bye.